All right, we're back.
Boys are back in town.
Back in town after a month long, where we were mixed up, huh?
Yeah, it's been about a month since we've been together between the Philippines and Japan, I believe, for you, right?
And Orange Beach.
Yeah, not near as exciting as Collier's places, but
Well,
hey,
what do you expect, you know?
what do you expect?
Hey,
Right?
Thin Lizzy.
Thin
if you
Lizzy.
guess Thin Lizzy, you're a winner.
The boys are back in town. So
That's right. Michael Bruno,
Bruno's in.
Karen Charles.
Yep. Love to see you guys. Thanks
Man.
for coming in.
What an
We got them
exciting
all
time.
piling in.
Man, everybody's coming. Let's have a little fun in the happy hour.
That's because the boys are back in town.
Rachel's here.
That's what I'm talking about
Did we just
today.
see her, by the way?
Yeah, we just saw her. Yeah.
I thought so.
Today we've got some 529 plans. Kylie Jenner,
Kylie.
she's at headlines, right?
I never thought she would make the happy hour. Did you?
Never thought that.
Never. But hey, you and I might be wanting to take some pointers from her.
Absolutely. We got some interest rates, and then we'll highlight one stock.
Absolutely.
That's
The
about it.
stocks. The stock market's kind of going crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is jumping around a little bit. A lot of things moving.
Exciting if you're on the right stock.
Yeah, and I started looking at a couple of last night, Square, and a few other ones that have just gone crazy this year.
Square. We're going to talk about Square in a little bit. Square's a little
payment.
software company, payment some.
Yeah.
There's Stephanie Barnes.
Hey, Stephanie.
All right.
Let's
Well,
see
David,
here.
you got back from the beach. How was the beach last week?
Oh, it was great. Really nice. We stayed at Orange Beach, so it was a little bit closer. So it was easy to get right to the pool, onto the beach. So beach bum. I'm usually not a big fan of the ocean, but I was.
You don't like sand,
Yeah, it's been a
where
lot
it
more.
gets it everywhere.
But I spent a lot more time in the ocean last week than I ever have, so that was cool. It was a
Well,
good time.
how about your wallet? We talk about money here, so
Yeah, actually, wasn't too bad because we spent a lot of time staying in, eating in, just going to the beach and the pool. So that's a lot cheaper than going to the water parks and.
and you bought drinks to bring back. Didn't
Oh
go.
yeah. Go to the store to get beverages. So weren't out as much. Spending
That's crazy.
Hey,
well,
Taylor Welling.
well,
thanks for coming
we got tuition checks are starting to roll out. I know a lot of folks that watch have college kids, as you do. Man, it's starting to hit, isn't it?
Yeah, those tuition bills are surprising too. Sometimes you get little surprises. Hey, yo, more this year.
Yeah.
It's
And
like what?
how do you suggest? Because with the pickup in the number, the demand for a lot of people getting mortgages and that sort of thing. Is there any planning you would do? Would you segregate that money kind of? So, how does it affect if they're trying to buy a house now and also planning for that when it's such a close window, say August, September?
Man, I tell you, you're just talking about splitting out the money.
Yeah,
and
because
making
we don't
it
want to
easier.
look like there's $10,000 all of a sudden leaving, and the bank's going, "Hey, where did that go?"
Right. Well, I would say it's always a good idea to have separate accounts so you can split the money out and not see it, and watch the money grow. It's just easier to manage, I think, for people. Obviously, in the mortgage business, when we ask you for your documents and we get 25 bank accounts, that's a little difficult. But really, the money coming in on the mortgage side, the money coming in is the question mark. So if we have $10,000 coming in, then we get concerned about that. We could see those big expenses going out.
So, but what if I have a 529 plan that I write it, because obviously I might write the check and I bring it in. I need to make sure I'm keeping good records, right, of that income coming in.
But that 529 plan, you probably keep separate account, separate statement, and everything. So we may not even see that. We may not even pull it into the mortgage file.
Well, as a lot of things are in Alabama, we got some. If anybody has any influence with the state legislature, they have missed a big opportunity here. They refused to change the law to specifically allow, as part of the Trump's tax plan. As you remember, 529 plans went through a massive change in that elementary and high school for private school was allowed to be put money in, take money out, because you could just say throw $8,000 in there on day one, day two, bring it back out, get a tax deduction on your roughly about $500 back.
Okay.
Right? So, but the state legislature refuses to write it back into the code that Alabama will comply. Right? And so people need to be real careful if they're reading the federal law and making sure they
Alabama.
don't pull out that money yet, for private school because you may end up with a tax problem relative to only elementary and private
So
high
is there
school.
somewhere they can read that, or is it a CPA question, or
It's
what
a
is
CPA
that?
question, but the CPAs don't even know right now. We did some digging on it, and even college counts at Managers Alabama's 529 plan say, yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell you, arguing with the government is not where you want to be.
it doesn't make sense. I think what the state's worried about is they're going to lose. If everybody loses $500 off their taxes, that's a significant that is involved. It's a significant hit to the revenue, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But by golly, they're taking all that sales tax, so I really don't care from Amazon and everything else, right?
Well, we got Barkley Russell and Valerie Morgan, two great people that I work with here in the office watching. And I know Valerie's probably got some connections down in Fairhope. So if you don't mind, we picked up cheap sunglasses today. I've never heard of it. Looks kind of crazy.
Yep.
Tastes
yep,
pretty
yep.
good.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Valerie,
It tastes
if
so
you can-
good.
If you can give me some,
Somebody
let
called
some
you
people
DA.
know.
Oh, that's your
Oh,
initials.
that's Stearns. Yeah.
That's your initials.
That's right.
Sorry.
He might have meant DA too, but if you can let the people know down at Fairhope Brewing Company, I believe, we need some sponsors. So anyway,
Well, I tell you what, everybody wants to talk about these, like Clark Howard calls them the big monster mega banks.
yeah,
Look, first of all, they were ripping people off, and you know the one I'm talking about. They drive a stagecoach, is a little mascot, because I don't
well, we
want to get
talked
into
about him a
this.
few weeks ago.
Yeah.
by name.
And, by name. And, I'm telling you, folks, the reason you don't want to do business with these clowns is this. This is a FedEx envelope right here that we got today into my rental management company that we have. They sent me a $30 check. A $30 check in a $29 mailing envelope.
So that's managing expenses, right?
That
there.
is. All they could have done was tell me, go down to the branch. Probably we would have sent somebody down there. I'd have gone down there, would have done it. You know what the grand cost would have been? Nothing. Maybe 10 cents for the paper. But
Right.
Instead, imagine how many people they're sending $30 checks in a FedEx
Yeah,
priority.
gotta be a better way.
And by the way,
a better way of doing that.
priority overnight.
Priority.
Not just overnight.
Got to.
And it's not their darn money, so they don't. The workers' money, so they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Although I did see you shipping priority overnight, though.
Well, that was actually my laptop sending it back to my IT department so they could fix it because it's been crashing all week.
Yes, you need a good computer.
Yeah, got to have that coming and going.
You have an
quickly.
IT department,
Yes,
man.
of course.
You are big time. Man,
Hey,
what's
hey,
next? Jet?
We are the small town field lender, but Fairway's a big
IT
company.
department.
They're a big company.
You did go to Georgia Tech.
So we got a lot of advantages on being a big company, but we also, we're right here in Birmingham, so you can reach out and wring our necks if we don't do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, but you have an IT department. But anyway, let's move it on.
Kylie Jenner. All right, so here's the headline. She was the youngest self-made billionaire, and everybody's up in arms about this, okay? Nobody understands why they use the word self-made.
By the way, it's not that Kylie Jenner is a billionaire, which is fascinating to me. But if you think about
Isn't
it,
she just 21?
yeah, barely.
Okay.
And she of course has her cosmetics line, but the big debate is the use of the word self-made. And the question, I'm one that says, fine, let's use it, because I believe there's a big difference between getting a head start, because that's the big debate.
Well, I think in here, let me look real quick. They said the cosmetic company, reality television show, various sponsorships, endorsements, $900 million empire that'll soon reach $1 billion. And right before the show, we looked up Beyonce. Her net worth is $350 million. So to say that all the work that Beyonce's done, right,
ton of it.
Kylie Jenner, I know she's got her name, and I felt completely different. I still don't understand the self-made, okay? But for her to be at almost $1 billion at 21, when you look at other people like Beyonce that are $350 million,
She's doing something right.
she's doing something amazingly well.
Well, because I think so many people blow up their business by making dumb decisions, dumb hiring decisions, putting wrong people in charge, mismanagement of money.
Yeah, and again, I've got to say, I don't know that much about Kylie Jenner, okay? I don't really care to know that
used
much
to watch it.
about Kylie Jenner. I've heard that, I don't know, I've heard some things. I really don't care. But $900 million, $1 billion is still a lot. Self-made, I still don't agree with.
She'll be the youngest, by the way, the youngest.
Now, self-made in my mind would be, like a Warren Buffett. Okay, the guy had a paper route, and then he'd pick up the newspaper from his dad every week, looking at stocks. He'd hear his dad talking about stocks, so he started investing in stocks.
I get that.
That guy, in my mind, is self-made. A guy like Elon Musk, I don't know his story specifically well either, but I know the guy works so hard.
Bruno's right. It's all about social media. And,
True.
And I think some of our disbelief is I'm saying our collectively, us older people, our collective not wanting to change, wanting to see through this prism of how we used to do it. And one thing you got to say about those girls, they got a motor.
Yes.
And they get up and go every day. Now, what they do after hours, I don't know, because it all started with a tape.
Well,
but they are hard, they are hard workers.
Well, I think this is the new economy, right? Eyeballs, these reality television shows.
Hey, Narissa.
Getting this group around you that that every time you post something on Instagram, somebody sees it. How many people see it when you do something? How many people see it when you sneeze? A lot of people see it with Kylie Jenner, right?
They're very transparent, right? I mean, we know the warts and all. That's why you people hate them, and that's why people love them. All the above. But I think at minimum, as a business guy, you have to respect it.
Oh, you definitely respect it. But I mean, walking in with the famous last name, the infinite amount of investment capital, safety nets. I'm thinking about this like when you're going through high school, when you're going through college, and you're thinking about careers, you're doing multiple things, right? How many things is she really worried about?
Not much.
Not much. Does she really have to know cosmetics that well?
Not really.
No.
It's hiring the right people, though. But I've seen I guess more to my point is I've seen too many people here in Birmingham and around the country implode their business by making decisions that imploded what they had going that was good.
Certainly. Now, she could make bad decisions. Great thing there. She could make a lot of bad decisions and lose money and still be fine.
Yes.
You got plenty of people, small business owners in Birmingham, small business owners across the country make a couple of bad decisions and they're out of business.
Yeah. Hey, Narissa, if you're still here, Narissa's our friend from Palawan, Philippines. You know who Kylie Jenner is, don't
Jennifer.
you? Narissa? I mean, this will tell you how well known she is. I mean, we're talking on the other side of the world, on an island, and this girl has that kind of power.
And reading the article, there's other companies that are trying to catch up with this type of marketing, if you will, to where you get your name out there, you get your brand out there, and everybody knows you. You're a household name.
Yeah, but I think
just like the happy hour, right?
Absolutely, just like the happy hour. Except, one thing I'll tell you though about them is that they're very raw. A lot of what you see is what you get with them, which is, I think, why our voyeuristic society loves it. Right? I mean, it is whether you like it or not. I know my mother doesn't like it. My wife doesn't either.
People don't want you to know that much about them, but they want to know about other people.
Right? Absolutely. Well, moving on. Enough Kardashian talk.
So interest rates. Interest rates are relatively unchanged. We're still around 4.5%.
Yeah. So Rain did buy some of the lipstick.
Bought some of her lipstick. See there? That's how you get to $900 million.
You start with two.
Yeah. But rates are relatively unchanged, 4.5% on 30-year money, 4% on 15. There's really been nothing meaningful in the last couple of months to move interest rates.
People are still nervous, so we hear the buyers saying, I got to lock it in.
Man, I tell you, that's true. The Fed is still tightening. The economy is still strong. Not tightening, I'm sorry. They're still raising the rates,
but
they're still hiking interest rates. So that's happening. But one thing I want to talk about is a big term in our business right now, and what's going on in the mortgage business is margin compression. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but
what do you mean by margin compression?
It's basically just, and I'm alluding to the price wars. I'm alluding to the fighting over the business that's going on in the mortgage business right now. Refinances obviously are down,
okay,
because rates are going up.
Sure,
right. Purchase transactions are down. Why? Because inventory's down.
It's amazing because we should not be seeing what we're seeing with the demand that we have.
Yeah, we have buyers. We just don't have enough houses. So net effect is less transactions. Online lenders now are taking some of the business. Buyers are going straight to online lenders.
Question came in.
Yep. So he's saying, how do you guys handle it if the rates go down after someone has locked a rate? Now, we've got provisions in place to renegotiate that with our lock desk. So that's how we handle that. We go
You
back
have
to
a lock
them.
desk and
And an IT department.
guy.
Fancy. But yeah, we've got ways to handle that.
What's up, Jason?
If rates go down. But so we've got less transactions. So what do? If you're in a competitive market, highly competitive market, you got excess capacity, meaning we've still got processors, we've still got underwriters, we've still got people working.
They need jobs.
We need loans, we need revenue. What do?
Offer deals.
We got to offer deals. So we have to cut the prices sometimes and compete. And that's when it gets highly competitive. And that's what's going on right now in the mortgage business. And I just wanted to bring that up a little bit because that obviously affects the real estate market.
Absolutely, it does.
The buyers and interest rates that they're getting and stuff that you're hearing on the radio, some marketing that you're hearing from mortgage companies too.
Well, especially the national guys, right?
Yeah.
It's you don't want to say it's a there's Courtney Hart.
Yes.
Yes. The queen has arrived. All right. She's getting around. We're getting around to the stock segment.
Yeah,
that's why she's here. Keep talking.
But so some other interesting information was, we've got some people in the industry that are talking, that have always had good content. I heard a guy this week, Barry Habib, talking about a recession in the next couple of years. And it was very interesting on the why, because I hadn't even thought about this, a recession coming or right around the corner, because the economy has been so good for so long, right? Yeah. But we are long into this move from 2008 when things were bad, right? Mm-hmm. We're 10 years into it now. So obviously, I think the cycle is usually about every 10 years you run into a rough patch.
The question is how long, right? How long is that rough patch? How bad is it?
But the two big reasons, and basically a recession just means the economy is going to slow down. The two big reasons, one of them was the 2-year versus the 10-year yield, which I know a lot of you guys are not interested in. So it's an inverted yield curve. If you care at all about that term, then Google it. The other one was the unemployment rate. Okay, so this is what may apply to people a little bit more. The bottoming out of the unemployment rate.
Yep.
Okay, so right now unemployment's really low, and we're excited about that.
How do you know any stats on the underemployment rate? If you don't know underemployment, meaning they're not making as much money as they should be, or they have been. Do you know anything on that?
I don't, and I don't know that comes up as much when your unemployment rate's low, because typically underemployment means you're taking a job because you can't find other work, right?
Okay.
Or you can't find
a
what
job
you want.
paying the wage that you need.
Yeah, you can't find what you want. So I would think that would not apply as much when unemployment is as low as it is. But so let's say right now it's around 4%, which is the lowest since 2010 when it was at 10%. So what they're saying is, when the economy's good, you're hiring, right?
Sure.
And what's the first thing you do when the economy slows down?
You got to cut labor and cut costs.
You cut your overhead, which is going to be your employees. So that was one of the big signs that he's saying. So what does that mean for real estate? Now, real estate, we're still in kind of a sheltered, I wouldn't say totally sheltered, but we're a little bit of a safe haven.
Well, we're not seeing the irrational exuberance that we saw in 2008, where it was throw the money, banks, no doc loans, people buying.
Just giving loans.
If it has a roof, I'm buying.
Right. So in real estate, by the time we get to this recession, rates will start coming back down, right? Mm-hmm. So that will help us in mortgage business, in the real estate business. That'll protect your investment in your home. So even though that these things are out there on the horizon, there's still positives.
Still positive, okay.
In the real estate market in general that's going to help us through that.
Well, it's going to be interesting as we head in, because we are insulated again, because people aren't getting themselves also into the situation where no equity. I cringe every time I see somebody want 100% financing, right?
Yeah.
A rental's not bad. Just go into a rental
if
you can't afford a down payment.
Yeah, and real estate is a tangible asset, right?
Oh, sure.
They're not necessarily creating more land. Okay?
No.
They might be building and
they are in Dubai and in Singapore where I was, but
and they might be expanding areas, cities or metropolitan areas might be growing, but it's kind of like we're not changing our living to where we're living in
high rises or
hovercrafts
yep.
or something like the changes in different other industries like Blockbuster went away.
Who?
Amazon's taking people out. So I feel like real estate is still going to be safe.
It's a great investment. I mean, long term. But the other thing too, I think it's real important. You hear us talking about investment, whether it be the stocks, those type things, and what we're really saying is that is to fund the real estate, not because I oftentimes want to say is your primary residence is don't look at it as it needs to be a home first. Investment, you get lucky because, quite frankly, if you can beat inflation at 3% year over year, you're doing pretty good because you need to look at the inflation value versus what you paid for it and all that. So if you can get out of it what you put into it and add inflation, you've done well.
Yeah, and with it, other benefits of being a homeowner, obviously.
Trey Fava koozie in the house.
Yes, Trey Fava is here. Tried to steal a couple T-shirts from him today, but wasn't able to. But yeah, I think owning a house is going to be an investment. It's going to make you money over time. It is just another part of your portfolio, kind of like the stocks and the other stuff we talk about.
Well, speaking of stocks. You have a little money in a big brand called Netflix.
Netflix.
Tell me about it.
Man, I tell you, I did buy a little bit for my daughter's account, I believe, and don't remember the price I got in, and I think I doubled. But
sure, that's what they all say.
But the high was $420 just about a week ago. Before what?
Before they came out with earnings and came out with a subscription decrease of the subscriber
count. So they're
count.
losing subscribers, and this is what I want to talk about because I just think it's interesting. We're in this age. I fought cutting the cord hard.
Yeah,
and Courtney can attest to that. I hated it, but
Courtney loved it.
I would think cutting the cord would mean more people in Netflix. I mean, I would think that as you get your palette of viewing options, Netflix would be one of them.
Well, one of the problems is, and it's also the benefit of Netflix from a standpoint of value in the company, is that they create their own content.
Yeah.
Right? They own their own pirate ship.
And they can make more money that way.
They don't care what 20th Century Fox has to say, because guess what? I don't need you.
Yeah, if you don't let me sell the rights to your movie, I'll just make my own.
Right, but that takes time.
And money.
I mean, absolutely. Or you can create crud like my wife watches on the Hallmark Channel, but that's the same movie over and over again with different actresses from the 1990s and 80s.
Yeah, and I'm not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that they're losing money on shows that aren't working or that they're losing subscribers.
They're losing subscribers, but as a result of that.
That's why.
Yes,
because
and they have
the
to
shows
fund
aren't
them.
working.
Well, that's right. And people don't like to learn a new thing. I think that's what they're finding, is that they're producing all this content, and you got to have time for people to. Yeah. And one of their problems is they throw it all onto you. That's one of the great things and one of the bad things. I mean, if you watch any of their programming, you can get an entire season in one day. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So they vomit all this stuff on you.
Absolutely.
And so it's not like we do with network TV, where you're left with a cliffhanger and you're watching the next week. You may or may not like it. So,
well, I think it's a pivotal point. They could either rebound and go much higher. It's funny because I just read an article, I think a few days ago before the earnings, that said this stock would be a giant and go through the roof or go to the moon or whatever it said. And then a couple days later, we find out they're losing subscribers. So
because remember, over half of their subscriber count was overseas as well, to a certain degree. That's where their growth was going to be. And
I just know 2 years ago, I think it was less than $100 a share, and now it's $420. So, the high was $420. Today is $365. I'm sorry. So it's come down a little bit off that high, but still a huge move. I love how a lot of these topics come back on each other. We talked about Kylie Jenner earlier, and when we were talking about her, we were talking about this. Ben Stiles.
We were talking about the idea that times have changed, right? We have got to now look at Netflix as that major media company that is ABC, CBS, NBC of our youth.
They really are, and maybe the price run up was just overshot.
There's a lot of that. Amazon. Look
Yeah.
at Amazon, all-time high.
Yeah,
But yet, what's the earnings per share? I mean, it's nothing.
yeah. I know they're $1,400 a stock. I mean, $1,400.
But not near what we would expect out of Amazon. As much as we all use them. I mean, I tell you, the biggest thing talk about Amazon. Has anybody seen this where they're now going to let you basically deliver for them? Right? They're going to have people like you could go get you a route, and you'll deliver for them. Well, it's the biggest. Let me ask you a question. If it was profitable, wouldn't they do it? It's not profitable. So what they're going to do is they're going to sub it out, and guess what happens when that package gets into David Arnett, the new driver who's a subcontractor, and you lose a package. Guess who's paying for that? Not Amazon. You are. So.
Yeah. Now I haven't seen their thinking or thought process behind that, but obviously I wouldn't be the one to question Amazon. Certainly they've proven that they've taken a lot of businesses and made it profitable doing it their way.
Sure, they have, but the question is, we've seen stuff go away.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
True.
They let things come and go. Because I'm not so sure how women especially are going to really like the idea of a UPS driver being able to, through Amazon, to just walk in their house. So that's going to be interesting. Drones. Bruno's own drones. That's another one.
Yeah, that is another one. Carlisle says Netflix may go up when they get purchased soon.
I think they'll be the purchasing, I would think.
Yeah, they might be the purchaser.
Yeah.
They're so big right
Apple
now.
could take them down, but that's about it.
And I know there was a lot of speculation when they started putting out their own content on how expensive it is to put your own content. Cassie Mingle is late. Let's bring her on the camera. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about one thing too. As we said last week, man, you know how much money people would have made had they just listened to our stock picks?
Of course.
I mean,
Rich
Square today. What do we say? Almost 2.5 times.
Yeah, from $18 to $68 in a year.
Well, so I'm gonna go back on the pick that I had a while back. Royal Caribbean. I'm telling you. They are whatever. There was no bad news. Royal people are still spending lots of money on these things, and they keep spending when they get to the ship. And they're just a well-run company, and a woman runs them.
And I tell you, I think the cruise business in general is booming. Now, is that a factor of the times, and it's just a different way to vacation, and the economy's good, or I think
it's the fact that you're going to an all-inclusive resort that actually floats.
I think that is a big part of it because most of your money is spent when you get on the boat, right?
Absolutely.
So you're not constantly spending cash every time you turn around on vacation.
Absolutely. We got Judge Tidwell, the Honorable Judge Tidwell from Atlanta. He loves the McRib sandwich.
Carlisle's saying Comcast is going to buy Fox.
Comcast was buying Fox's assets, but they dropped that bid today.
Okay.
So,
but I think the Royal Caribbean, the business is good. Cruise business seems to be good. The economy has been doing well, so more people have money. Wages are up.
WWE, we talked about that one before.
But
that
more
one
people
keeps going up.
Have dispensable cash, right, to go on a cruise.
Absolutely, and I think, except as you know, I'm not a big fan of Carnival, as we call them.
Thank you, Ray.
The poop cruise.
Man, I tell you, one of the feeds I've got is, puts a lot of cruise headlines out there, and I keep seeing people falling off. One fell off over in Italy.
What are you doing to fall off? I mean, I know what you could be doing.
Yeah, I mean, you fell off a boat.
I mean, climbing to the top of the ship and falling off would be just nuts.
It's a ship. Sorry, you don't call it a boat.
Yes.
It's a ship.
Yeah, a boat's what you take to the shore from the ship.
That's right.
Well, we're going to table this last thing on home warranties till next week. I think we've kind of covered everything, but we want to talk about home warranties. Folks are still asking us a lot of questions about that, so we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, and listen, I know this is July, so we got school coming up, and people are making arrangements to get into the houses before school starts, and we got the college tuition coming up. We got college football right around the corner, huh?
College football. Auburn Tigers. Is there other teams?
No, I think that's it.
That's it. I mean, hold on.
Georgia Tech.
You don't want to count them, though, you
Georgia
said.
Tech.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or
Go Jackets.
absolutely. Robert Tidwell's favorite South Carolina
I'm sure
school.
Mark Carlisle's got something to say on football season.
There you go. Go Gamecocks. I thought it was not Wofford. Not Wofford. What is it? Tidwell went.
I can't believe Valerie quit on us.
Where'd she
Valerie
go?
would have given us a roll tide, but she's not here
Yeah.
anymore. Oh, well. Next time, Valerie.
All right. Well, man, appreciate it. And,
Yes. Good to be back.
We will. War Eagle, Pam.
Yes.
That's my cousin Pam. Good to see you. By the way, that's Sasha and
Sasha
Holly's
Koster.
mom.
Awesome.
Well, that's
Sasha.
Holly's mom.
Sasha.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Not Sasha.
Sasha.
Sasha. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we'll see you next Thursday, same time. Roll
There you
Tide.
go.
Oh. Same time, 4:00 next Thursday. We'll see you on the happy hour.
See you guys.
Have a good week. See you later. Hey, Amy.